Uh, if I had a bumper sticker, what would it say? I did have a Darwin fish on my car I got in college with little feet. It said Darwin in it and had little feet. That cracked me up at the time I got that. That's not a bumper sticker though. That's an emblem. It probably says something like what my shirt says, which you cannot read. Ugh. Right there. Every day I think people can't get any stupider, and every day I'm proven horribly wrong. That is, it's almost my mantra, because I wake up in the morning and I'm so optimistic, and then it's guaranteed that sometime throughout the day somebody is going to do something which dumbfounds me in its stupidity. And that's it. It ruins the rest of my day. I've lost my faith in humanity. We're all stupid animals, and we're all going to kill each other, and we're not going to progress as a species. And then I wake up the next morning, I'm like, yay, everything's good. It's a cycle. What songs, TV shows, books, paintings, etc. are you embarrassed to admit that you like? Well, there was a period of time where I enjoyed Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's a bit embarrassing, but I enjoyed the show because it was self-aware in its own stupidity. I can appreciate that. It's like, yeah, none of this makes any sense. We know. Just play along. The show kept making poking fun at itself throughout its run, so I could appreciate that. Sometimes shows that take themselves too seriously kind of irk me, but Buffy the Vampire Slayer definitely didn't. When you say it to somebody, I guess it can be kind of embarrassing, but stuff like that usually doesn't bother me. Like, I like something because I like it, I see value in it, and usually there's an initial, like, you like what? And then I'll explain why, and then they'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. What other things? I'm a real big fan of the Underworld movies. They get terrible ratings, but I love them. I could probably blame my Hungarian and German ancestry to my affinity for werewolves and vampires. I think it's in the blood, and really anything about vampire and werewolf mythology, I love it. So it's probably genetic. And they get horrible reviews, and people are like, "Oh, you like that movie?" Yeah, I really do. I really like that movie. And Soldier with Kurt Russell, I really like that movie too. But that got horrible reviews. A lot of people didn't like it so much. But I liked Kurt Russell's performance in it. He barely had any speaking lines at all, and he had to convey emotion through this stoic mask. There's one scene in particular where I think he's exiled from a village on a planet. I think he's huddling for shelter in a concrete tube or something, and he's got the stoic mask on, and then he starts crying. But he's never cried before. If you watch the movie, you'll understand he's a conditioned soldier. He's never cried before. So not only is he sad and he's crying through this mask, but he's surprised that he's crying. Okay. He's never cried before and he doesn't know what it is. So he's sad and he's shocked at the same time, and he comes, and the emotion comes through his mask. I've never been more impressed with a performance than with that in that movie. What is the name of your childhood teddy? Well, this is my childhood teddy. Damn camera keeps changing likeness. His name is Pinky Bear. You might be able to tell he is actually a very pale pink color. And, oh boy, he's got to be over 20 years old at this point. I think I got him when I was like 5. When I picked him out in the store, of course, being a toddler, my mom, I think, was actually a bit worried that out of all the different color bears, I picked out the pink one. Maybe just a flash of homophobia from my mom. Are you sure you don't want the brown one? No, I want the pink one. I'm you can probably tell by my mannerisms, I'm quite heterosexual. So a pink bear does not a homosexual make. What is the most annoying thing people ask you? You probably can't tell because I'm always sitting at a chair in front of my computer, but I'm actually quite tall. I'm 6'6". That puts me at the same height as the Amazing Atheist, though he probably weighs double me. I'm very, very thin. I probably weigh 160 pounds when I'm soaking wet. I'm skin and bones, as it were. So I probably come across as looking taller just because of my thinness. I look stretched out. So people ask me all the time, do you play basketball? How's the weather up there? And other height-related comments. No, I don't play basketball. I snowboard. I'm not good at team sports. I'm not a team player. How's the weather up here? I usually thanks, Mittens. Destroyer of desks. Where was I? Oh yeah, how's the weather? And I'll, describe the weather that we're supposed to have tomorrow. Oh, I see we got a storm coming, or barometric pressure's dropping, stuff like that. It usually gets a chuckle or two, and then they leave me alone. What OS do you use? Hey, why don't I show you? Because then a cool camera effect will happen. We'll get an infinite regress. Alright, hold on. Try to make this as smooth as possible. How about that? You can probably tell that is Windows XP. Why do I use Windows XP? Well, they're buried behind, but you can see the icons for various games that I have. There's Halo, World of Warcraft, that's Steam for Half-Life 2, various other games. There's Fear, behind the had a camera heart attack, I guess. The recording software that I use, let's get this right, it's my finger. The recording software that I use does not like infinite regresses. Surprise, surprise. Cat, get off my list. So anyway, why do I use Windows XP? It's the games. It's the games. You got a Mac? Tough. Can't play any games. Oh yes, you can play World of Warcraft. Don't even talk to me about first-person shooters. Don't even mention it to me. Everything else, Linux. Ugh, can't play games on that either. Do you have any piercings or tattoos? No. No. Any reason? There's a permanence with tattoos and piercings that I think I would want to avoid. I don't want to get stuck with something that felt right at the moment, and then, I'm 80 years old and be like, where did I get that stupid tattoo? Or, this earring looks totally lame. So forget it. I've got no desire to mark my body permanently like that. I think a lot of people that get that tattoos or piercings, well, maybe piercings are just for ornamentation, but tattoos, because of their permanence, I think it's a matter of control over one's body. Maybe if a person lacks greater control in their life, maybe they want to control their body to a certain extent. I've been more open to the idea of getting a tattoo lately, but I really don't see myself getting one anytime soon. I did see a cool one, though. I was perusing a website about, how did I link to it? It was about foxhole atheists. I think I started the chain on the BBC News or something, but I chained through. I ended up on a site about foxhole atheists, and there was one soldier, and on his forearm he had a big one of the fish, a Darwin fish, but it didn't have Darwin. It said evolve inside it, and it had feet. And I thought that was really cool. That, here's this foxhole atheist. He's got a Darwin fish tattooed on his arm. I mean, that's commitment. Damn it, this thing is damn long. Alright, that's enough blathering.